this lesson, we're going to be rearranging formulas. Now, what does that mean? So let's say that when we are rearranging formulas, we're simply moving variables from one side of the equal sign to another. I'm going to use many properties of multiplication. Let's say, for example, that you're given this formula. We have k equals 1/2 times m times v to the power of 2. We have to solve, for our instructions say to solve for m here. What does that mean? That means that basically we have to have our answer m equals something. Now, we don't know what that something is yet, and we also know that because we don't have any values that are being substituted here in our directions, that whatever my answer is going to be pretty much full of variables and maybe some exponents and fractions. So to do that, we have to take everything out so that m is equal to the rest of this, whatever it might be. But we can't just, pull things out like this. That's not how we do things in algebra. That would give us the wrong answer. What we want to do is we want to solve and approach this problem just like we would if there were numbers. These terms are all being multiplied. I have a total of 3 terms that are being multiplied times each other. And the importance of that is that in order to move them from this side of the equal sign to the other, then I have to do the opposite, which would be division. So I want to very much keep my m here. I'm not going to do anything with that, but I am going to move v squared and 1/2 to the other side. And to do that, I have to divide by that value. So what would that look like? Well, that would look like v squared divided by v squared. So if I were to rewrite that, it would be k divided by v squared equals 1/2 m. Now I have to go ahead and move this 1/2 to the other side by also dividing. So I'm going to divide by 1/2. And so that would give me 2k over v squared equals m. Now, how did I get 2k? We know that when we are dividing by a fraction, we are essentially multiplying by the reciprocal, right? So that's how I ended up with 2k. Now, let's go ahead and take the same equation and solve for v. Go ahead and do this one on your own. Okay, so in this case, I have my v that I want to keep by itself. But I also notice that I have this exponent. So I'm going to deal with that exponent last. I'm going to move everything that's on the left of the v to the other side by doing the opposite. So let's go ahead and divide each side by m. So I'm going to end up with, okay, now I'm going to divide each side by 1/2. Or multiply by its reciprocal, is the same thing. Now, we have to deal with the exponent because my solution involves v to the power of 1, not v to the second degree. The only way to get rid of an exponent is by taking the root of it. In this case, my variable is being squared, so I'm going to take the squared root. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other.